Maumee, Ohio. We do not know if he was connected to the neo-Nazis or white supremacists who sparked the violence over the last 24 hours in Charlottesville. Violence that has been condemned from all over the country, all over the world, from every political spectrum by name, from most parts, though not all parts. Talk about that. We did hear from Democratic Congressman Donald McEachin of Virginia, who wrote, "No place for hate in Virginia. All must be welcome here because our diversity is why we thrive." Congressman McEachin joins me now by phone right now. Again, we're looking at pictures from the day, the violence that did flare up in Charlottesville. Congressman, your reaction tonight to the last 24 hours?
Well, it's been a nightmare. You know, I went to school in Charlottesville. That's where I met my wife at UVA Law School. And to see that wonderful city in our state in this light, it's just horrifying. These folks come from out of the state with their hatred and their bigotry and have left a very bad taste in the mouth of all Virginians.
A very bad taste in the mouth of all Virginians. We're watching these pictures again. This took place over the course of the day, and I believe these pictures were even before the car plowed into that crowd, killing that woman. President Trump did come out today in a statement condemning hatred, condemning violence, though he condemned it for what he called many, many sides. Do you believe it is important for the President of the United States to use the words white supremacists, neo-Nazis?
Absolutely. You know, the President of the United States has to be crystal clear on this. There can be no ambiguity. Just like in your last segment, you said that the President was critical of President Obama for not saying the words radical Islamic terrorists. Well, these are white supremacists. They need to be called out by name. They need to be repudiated by name. And for him to give this sort of bland statement does no good.
You know, it is interesting because one of the discussions leading into these protests were, do they have a right? Should they be allowed to march and protest? And our Constitution does protect free speech. There have been many people who fought for the rights of these hate groups to say what they want to say out loud. Do you believe they should have the right to march? Now, the right to march and to speak is very different than the right to violence.
Yeah, you know, my father was an Army veteran, and he raised me to believe in the First Amendment. That's why he put his life on the line for this country. And yes, everyone has a right to speak. Even though I may not want to hear what you have to say, you have a right to speak. What you don't have a right to do is to incite violence, and that's what these people did.
All right, Congressman Donald McEachin of Virginia, thank you very much for being with us tonight. Again, we are watching the streets of Charlottesville tonight. So far, peaceful, but we are waiting to see what the reaction will be from some of these hate groups who have been there.